My friends, my amigos, my shimigos. Shane here, and today we've got your market in a minute. What's that? It's not? It's the what? Okay, today we've got your real estate rundown. All the cities bundled into one video with timestamps so that you can go right to your city of choice, or just watch them all and get the overall picture. It's a work in progress, folks. Stay with me. Today, I'm answering the big 3 market housing questions. So hold on tight, and here we go. On to Cathedral City. Consistent with last week, the Cathedral City market indicator dropped so ever slightly to 76. And remember, 30 is a pretty balanced buyer and seller market, so we're firmly stuck in the seller zone. It's like the friend zone. You hope something's going on and something's going to happen, but the reality is it's not. So move along. Move along. This week, the average median price for homes currently on the market is $539,000, moving up $40,000 from last week. The 90-day average median is $508,000, pretty consistent against last week. So a bit of a price jump as the better valued homes are selling first and new homes are continuing to come on the market at higher prices. As far as what's available to purchase, inventory has remained steady this week at 42 units against the 90-day average of 43, right on pace. And that's been Cathedral City. On to Coachella. The Coachella market index is 72, a scooch above last week's 70. And remember, 30 is a pretty balanced market between buyers and sellers. So we're leaning heavily into a seller's market. This week, the average median price for homes currently on the market is $310,000, just down from last week's $320,000. The 90-day average median price rose to $327,000, just $2,000 above last week's number. The trend is definitely up as the average median new listing price is $347,500. That's $47,000 over the weekly average. And as far as what's available to purchase this week, inventory has decreased from 11 units to 9 units for sale against a 10-unit 90-day average. So still facing a shortage, but at least it's consistent. And that's Coachella. On to Desert Hot Springs. The Desert Hot Springs market index remains strong at 75 this week, a tick up from 77 last week. And remember, 30 is a pretty balanced buyer and seller market. So we are definitely holding steady in the seller side of the equation here. This week, the median 7-day average price for homes currently on the market is $332,500 against a consistent $320,000 last week. The 90-day average median price stayed stable at $330,000. Notable is the new listings median price this week, which is $329,000, which is a few percent below the current median average. So we may see a bit of price softening as we go forward. Now, we'll see next week if that trend holds or not. And as far as what is available to purchase this week, inventory has risen to 62 from last week's 53, with the 90-day average still steady at 53. So you can see how the rise in inventory is helping stabilize the prices. And that's been Desert Hot Springs. On to Indian Wells. The Indian Wells market index is hovering right around 54. And remember, the magic number is 30. That's the balance between the buyers and sellers in this market. The 54 is significantly lower than some of our other greater Palm Springs cities who are clocking in the mid-70s and some up in the 90s. One possible reason is the much higher price point in Indian Wells. This week, the median list price for Indian Wells is $3.525 million, slightly up from last week's $3.3 million. This is really pushing above the 90-day average of $2.1 million. The trade-off here is the average days on market continues to climb as a result of the premium prices. So if you're going to sell, make sure your listing agreement is over 8 months. You may need it. As far as what's available to purchase this week, inventories continue to slide down to 28 units, off 4 from last week. This is trending down with the 90-day average of 47, which is also continuing to slide. And done for Indian Wells. On to Indio. Indio is in an extreme seller's market, with the market index topping our local city charts at 91. And remember, 30 is a pretty balanced buyer and seller market, so we're really lopsided here. In the short term, the market index has pushed over 100 in recent weeks. This week, the median home price of active listings jumped to $577,000, an over $70,000 jump from last week's $507,000. The 90-day average median price rose a bit, to $476,000. Good news for buyers that in the new listing category, the median price is still $36,000 under the 7-day average. So new home prices aren't pushing up the pricing trend at the moment. Now, as far as what's available to purchase this week, inventory has decreased to 62 units. That's 4 down from last week, but significantly below the 9-day average of 82 units. With the nearly peaked market index, if inventory can stabilize, we may finally see a turn on rising prices. In the meantime, the city is rocking. Get that Coachella reference? See what I did there? Sellers, if you're on the fence, now is a great time to make a move. And that's been Indio, off to La Quinta. Home sales continue to outstrip supply as the La Quinta market index has been moving steadily higher, currently sitting at the recent high of 91. And remember, 30 is a pretty balanced buyer and seller market. So it's a seller's high and the buyers continue to cry. Really, do they though? Who writes this? This week, the median home price is $32,000 up to $932,000. The 9-day average median ticked up to $971,000 in response. This coming off the spike in prices 2 weeks ago, but I'd expect it to remain somewhat strong in the future. As far as what's available to purchase this week, inventory has decreased 9 units to 98 for sale against a 90-day decreasing average of 117 units. So, still facing a shortage and seeing a steady downturn trend, which should keep prices moving up. So both La Quinta and its neighbor Indio continue to push the upper reaches of the market index, telling us that those areas are the most seller-friendly. That's been La Quinta, now into Palm Desert. The Palm Desert market index is planted right around 81. This is about the same as last month's market index of 81. And remember, a balanced market is 30, so 81 is still pushing the upper reaches of the seller's market here as well. This week, the median list price is approximately $799,900, a huge drop from last week's $955,000, but the 90-day average median stays consistent around $860,000. A few high-priced homes causing the numbers to move around like a 3 martini lunch driver heading down El Paseo. And as far as what is available to purchase this week, inventory has increased 7 units to 91, still hovering below the 9-day average of 95. So, still facing a shortage and seeing a steady downward trend, which is allowing prices to rise. Check and done for Palm Desert. On to Palm Springs. The Palm Springs market index is floating around 83, consistent with last month's 79. And since 30 is a balanced market, the beach ball is still floating in the seller's pool. This week, the median list price rose to meet the 9-day average median at $1.1 million, a slight correction from last week. New listings coming in the market are a bit below that at $955,000, so we may see some softening in the future. As far as what's available to purchase this week, inventory has decreased to 68, 6 units down from last week. This moves the 9-day average down to 75 and falling. So if you're a buyer, now is a good time to shake a leg and get that offer accepted before the further decrease in inventory pushes prices higher, like our East Valley cities. We dusted off the lounge chairs in Palm Springs, now off to Rancho Mirage. The Rancho Mirage market index is hovering in the mid-60s, consistent from last month. And remember, 30 is a balanced market. Rancho Mirage 66 makes it one of the most buyer-friendly markets in the greater Palm Springs area. This week, the median list price rose to touch $1.5 million against a 9-day average median, staying the same at $1.4 million. Prices continue to eke upward over the last few weeks. As far as what's available to purchase this week, inventory has continued a gentle decline, losing 3 to now 54 units for sale against a 90-day average of 67 units. The 90-day average yet to cross the weekly average, so there's hope for a weekly correction up. And we're done in Rancho Mirage, and now to count 1,000 palms. See what I did there? 1,000 palms. Isn't like counting, but also like the city. These are the jokes, people, work with me. The market index for 1,000 palms has stayed consistently hovering in the low 50s in one of the most buyer-friendly markets in the greater Palm Springs area. It's the closest to a balanced market index of 30 we've seen lately. This week, the median list price is approximately $249,000 against a 9-day average median of $223,000. Prices making a brief resurgence in an overall flat last few weeks. As far as what's available to purchase this week, well, inventory has increased to 9 units for sale against a 90-day average of 6 units. Seeing the weekly average move higher than the 90-day average is showing how 1,000 palms pricing has been continuing a long, gentle downward trend over the last few months. Supply and demand, baby. My friends, my amigos, my shamigos, thanks for watching this market update. Do you like the new format? How's the real estate rundown grabbing you? Comment below and we'll figure this out. Hit the like button if this was valuable. Subscribe for more next week. And as always, thanks for watching. Have a Palm Springs day.